Hello friend, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well today. Today we are looking at salt. What can we do without salt? Salt is a very important ingredient in all that we cook in our kitchen. Except you're on a salt-free diet regimen, we all use salt every day. If you're like me, when you go to the stores and see different arrays of salt, something comes to your mind sometimes, doesn't it? What are all these different varieties of salt? Which salt do I really need to buy to use for myself and my family? What's the best salt to buy? We're going to look at that today in this video, okay? So grab your seat and let's get started. The three types of salt I shall be reviewing in this video are 1. Celtic sea salt. The second one will be Himalayan pink salt, and the third one will be the general table salt or iodized white salt. This is the Celtic sea salt, also called grey salt. It is rich in natural minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. It is minimally processed, and because it is harvested from seawater and air-dried, it feels damp when you touch it. It is harvested from the coastal regions of Brittany, France, and some parts of Portugal. Unlike regular white sea salt, Celtic grey sea salt is harvested from salt beds lined with clay, thereby infusing it with very rare minerals, enriching the salt so good. The second salt I'm looking at is the Himalayan pink salt. The pink color is derived from trace minerals that this salt contains, like iron, magnesium, and potassium. This salt is mined majorly from sea salt deposit in the Himalayan region, especially Pakistan. This is the coarse texture. You could also buy it in the finer texture, if that is what you want. The third salt I'm looking at in this video is the regular table salt or the iodized salt. This salt contains added iodine to help prevent iodine deficiency and related thyroid issues. It is highly processed, so most minerals are removed like every processed food. It has an added anti-caking agent that makes it flow freely without clumping. So I'm going to open up the salt so that we can look at the texture in a closer range, if I may say so, okay? Of course, the texture of this salt is coarse, it's not fine, so a little goes a long way when I'm using it to cook. And it's a very lovely salt, if salt can be described as lovely, okay? And you're using this salt at the back of your mind with the knowledge that it is minimally processed. In fact, it's not processed at all. The water just evaporated and they scooped it, let it air dry, and then that's it. So it's a very good salt. If you're a health conscious person and you want to be particular about the salt to use, it might be good to take a look at the Celtic sea salt, okay? It's a very good salt, like I said before. It's very good. And since the Celtic salt comes in this form, in a coarse form, for you to use it as table salt, you just put it in your dry blender and, pulverize it to a powdered form. Maybe you could add few grains of rice, dried rice, to your salt shaker. That will help absorb some of the moisture if you really want it to come out, like dry like table salt, okay? So that is what you could do. I don't really have need of pulverizing it that way because I have the pink salt in a pulverized form. So that's what I use as table salt. I use this Celtic sea salt just for cooking only. So looking at the texture side by side, you can see that the iodized salt is dry, and free-flowing compared to the clumpy looking Celtic sea salt. This is the pink salt or the Himalayan pink salt. And if you've been following my channel, you see that Most of the time, that is what I use in my cooking, and it is very good salt. And I also like the beautiful pink color. And to know that this pink color is impacted by the natural occurring minerals in this salt makes it really good, right? So that is it. Finally, the choice of salt is all up to you. I just shared my opinion or my views here. If you want to use any of this salt, you are free to. There is also what is called the kosher salt and the regular sea salt. I did not share them in this video because those are not the regular salts I use in my house. I want to review what I have used. The iodized salt in my kitchen is basically to wash vegetables sometimes, wash meat, wash fish. I use it to scrub pots, basically that. I do not use iodized salt in my cooking. But please feel free to use whatever salt, that catches your fancy. It's a free world, and do whatever works for you, okay? So finally, it is Celtic sea salt or Himalayan pink salt that are the dominant salt in my kitchen, and I like them that they are rich in natural occurring minerals, not synthetic minerals added to it after processing. The natural occurring iodine in most of the food we eat is where we get our iodine. I'm talking for my family, okay? So if medically you need to take extra iodine, then the iodized salt may be the way to go, okay? I hope you found this video helpful. Leave me a comment, give me your likes, ask a question if you have anyone, okay? Do you like this type of videos, of reviews? Let me know in the comment section so that I can share more of videos like this. I appreciate you again for stopping by. Thank you so much, all my returning subscribers. Thank you. I can't thank you guys enough for always stopping by to watch my videos. If you're watching my video for the first time, I hope you could find it in you to subscribe and join the family. And you know what? Subscription is absolutely free. You will have 1 or 2 contents or more that you will find interesting from my playlist. If you check it out, that will be very, very helpful too. Till my next video comes your way, thank you so much and God bless you. Bye for now.